Hey, this is Kelsey Not Live. I am Kelsey Macke, and this is First Thoughts. Good morning. This is the next video installment of my new series called First Thoughts. It is a time when I wake up, I grab a cup of coffee, I come up to my office to work, and I sit down and talk with you guys about something that's on my mind or something that I'm thinking about that I think that you guys will relate to. The difference in the First Thoughts series, the difference between the First Thoughts series and my regular videos is that these videos are not scripted. They are right off the top of my head, and the purpose of these videos is to require less editing from me. It is something that will help to keep me accountable. It's something that will help me keep my content fresh, and it is something that encourages me to be brave. There are a lot of insecurities that can hide in good editing, so this is an opportunity for me to be brave and say the things that I think need to be said with a little less self-imposed filtering. So today I wanted to talk to you about a sentiment that I feel all the time. I have a feeling that I'm not alone in this idea, but it's something that I've been dealing with off and on for the entirety of my life. So since I popped out of the womb, these are feelings that I've had. And I'm talking about that feeling of being behind or even being left behind. I think that there are sort of two different sides of the same coin. So let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. It is currently January 7th, and I have felt for the last 7 days, the first week of the new year, that I'm completely and totally left behind. That all the other writers that I know, all the other creative people I know, have hit the ground running. They have started off with the bang. They have hit the new year with, full force, and they've done the work. They know what their goals are. They know what they're working towards, and then they've, set off. And I don't feel in the New Year's groove yet. I really don't. I don't feel like I am in the pocket. I don't feel like I have clicked with the new year. And I often do feel that way. So this is an unsettling type of sensation for me. I have a theory. I have a theory that when I get back to my day job at the schoolhouse, I am a middle school teacher. Being at the schoolhouse energizes me. Getting up and coming to my office every morning energizes me. Oh my gosh, I just saw a good glimpse of my hair. Being at the schoolhouse energizes me, and I have a feeling that once I get back to the schoolhouse, I will start to feel a lot more connected to my work and to my routine. Routine is really important to me, and it really helps me feel productive, and it really helps me feel like I'm doing the right thing. So I really think that once I get back to work and my routine is kicked off, I will feel better. But I haven't gone back to work yet. And I'm sitting here watching everybody else post about their dreams and their goals, and I'm feeling like everyone's going out to play without me. And this thought expanded in my mind when I was thinking about what I wanted to speak with you guys about this morning. And it really hit me how frequently as writers we feel left behind. We feel like everyone else has moved on without us. We feel like everyone else finishes their first draft before us. We feel like everyone finishes their revisions before us. We feel like everyone starts querying before us. We feel like everybody gets an offer of representation before us. We feel like everybody goes out on submission before us. We feel like everybody gets an offer of publication before us. We feel like everyone has a book coming out before us. We feel like everybody hits the New York Times list before us. We feel like everybody, do you understand? It goes on and on and on and on. And the root of this issue, of course, is obviously comparison, right? If we would just stop comparing our journeys to anyone else's journeys, then these feelings would subside, right? Because it should not matter. If my friend finishes their book before me, it should not matter. If my friend gets an agent before me or is published before me. And the other thing that's so fascinating is the total arbitrary nature of all of those touchstones. Like, I've already been through this process once. I have queried already. I have had an agent already. I have been published already. I have won an award already. I've done all these things that I should be proud about. I've done all these things that should make me feel like I've taken steps down this race, this path. Race is probably the wrong word. It's not a race, but that I've taken these steps down this path. And because of this particular turn in my career, and because of the way that this next phase of my career has started to unfold, namely that I am looking for a new agent, 5 years into my career, 6 years into my career, it's left me feeling behind. It's left me feeling like I am stuck in the back while everyone else is moving forward. So do you know what I'm talking about here? I bet you do. I think that the most important part of this, of getting over this, because that is my goal in this particular instance, accept and honor that this is how I feel, acknowledge that these are my feelings, but I don't want to have these feelings, and I don't think that these feelings are productive. I don't think that they are fruitful, and I also know that they are illogical. And that is a big piece of the problem here. This is an illogical feeling, and feelings are allowed to be illogical, though. This is an illogical way to move through your life. Feeling like everyone else has moved on without you is not real. Everyone's path is totally different. Some people's path might only be a few steps before they reach a mile marker, and your path might be, really long before you reach that same mile marker. It's never comparing apples to apples. If everyone's journey is their own, then it's not even reasonable to compare where you are to where someone else is. And the most important thing, and this occurs to me as I think about the new year, the most important thing is getting it done. The most important thing is that you don't quit, and that you keep going, and that if you don't get started on the 1st, that you get started on the 7th, that you get started on the 10th, that you get started in February. I'm gonna sneeze. That was my real sneeze. I'm sorry. I know it sounds obnoxious. Everyone's always like, I had a student once that was like, you sound like a fairy. And I'm like, well, that was my sneeze kid. Anyway, now I have to hope that I don't have boogers in my live video that I can't go back and reshoot. Also, this curl is very intense. But I'm supposed to be embracing my curls right now. Total sidebar. Doing the curly girl method with my hair. It's where you develop the curls in your hair. And it's a very interesting time. Anyway, I think that the most important thing is that you just keep going, and that you get the work done, that you cross that finish line. It doesn't matter when. It matters if. It doesn't matter who crosses first. It doesn't matter if you cross alone or with other people. All that matters is that you keep going, all that matters is that you keep stepping forward and you keep thinking about the things that you can control, improving your craft, keeping your mind right, studying, practicing, putting in the work. Those are the things that you have control over. So I guess really that's all I have to say about that. So I guess I'm done. I guess I'll bring this video to a close. I want you to try along with me. I'm going to try, and I want you to try as well. We've got to really try to keep our eyes on our prize. We need to really, really try and offer ourselves that little bit of grace and trust that, we may not all be at the same phase in our process, but that doesn't mean that where we're going isn't amazing and that when we get there, it won't be worth it, because I think that it will. And it also is important to remember that it's not ever too late. It's January 7th. It's not too late to make a New Year's resolution. It's not too late to make a decision about how you want to grow. And again, I hate the notion that resolutions are always about shedding this awful person that we are. I think that's very unhealthy. If you want to make a change in your life that you think will improve your life, then go for it. And it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter if it's in January or February or October. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're constantly growing and you're willing to listen to what your heart and what your mind know to be true. And in this case, what they know, what I know that my heart knows, is that I'm doing good work and that I want to be the best writer, the best creator that I can be. And that's got to be good enough. It should be. It is. It is. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you are going to have an amazing day. Thank you so, so much for coming back to my channel. I've got a couple really exciting things I just want to mention really fast. The first is that I'm doing the Revise Along Challenge on Instagram, which is a revision community building activity. You can go find out more about it on my Instagram channel. I'm at KelsNotChels. Another thing is that my Facebook group, which is just a social community for people who are trying to push themselves and also show themselves grace. It's called A Little Pressure, A Little Grace on Facebook. Is open for business. I would love it if you would come and join us. We're mostly just talking about our experiences and supporting each other at this point in this community's development. So that's what we're doing right now. And it would be wonderful if you'd come and join us. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. And I would love to know what you think about this topic in the comments, that feeling of being left behind. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you felt that before? If you have, please tell me about it. I would love to hear about your experiences. Thank you so much again, and have a super amazing day. Bye.